Hi everybody, Paul here from Hill Country Rings. Got a new tool for the shop that I always thought might be pretty useful. It's a oscillating spindle sander. So let's go to the shop. Something I always thought would be handy to have in the shop is a spindle sander, and that's a sander that spins around and goes up and down to maybe do some sanding on the inside of ring blanks. If they're a little bit too small to go around the core, I could sand them out and make them where they fit better. But the ones that are available, the bench models, they're not really too expensive. Maybe 100, 150 bucks for a pretty cheap one. But they just take up a lot of room. And this little guy might be what I've been looking for my little shop, because I really need something that's small, that's not going to take up a lot of room, and just work on very small pieces. Well, basically ring blanks. So let's go and open them up. Just cut the tape. And I got this guy off Amazon. He was like $60. So that's pretty cheap. I mean, that's like about half the price of the other spindle sanders I was looking at. So you got instructions, got a little box of stuff, got the spindle sander here, and like a little rubber plate to sit him on. That'll come in handy later. Take it out of the bag here. So he's looking pretty good. I think he's already got a spindle on him right there. Oh yeah, there he is. So let me see if you can see this. Well, this is basically a handheld that you can use to sand the edges of things, like round edges, like if you're building a guitar or something like that. But I really don't want to use it on hand. I want to bench mount it like that. And yes, I said that there are spindle sanders that are bench mounted, but they're pretty huge and they take up a lot of space. And this little guy is just about the size I want to put on my very crowded workbench. So let me just open up some of the other little things that came with him. A little box here. Yeah, see, got some other spindles. That's way too big for a ring. That looks pretty good. About the right size. This little guy right here is a pretty good size, and it also comes with a little, I guess, a fence that would go right here, and then you can supposedly sand flat things. But I already have a disc sander and a disc sander and belt sander, so I really don't need that. It does have a vacuum port, so I can hook up my dust collection system to it, so that's very good. That's very important. And it's got, get him out of here. Oh, some little clamps, so I can clamp him to my workbench. So that is really good, because these go evidently right here, and right here, and then just clamp them to the workbench. So that would be good. I guess I'll put this under it just to cut down some of the vibration. So let me start getting him set up, and then we can play with him and see how he works. But before I try to set him up or turn him on, I always want to read the instructions. This is the most important and the most fun part of any new tool project, is to read the instructions. One little page right here says that if you're using the 1/2 inch spindle sander here, it doesn't have a rubber drum. These have a rubber drum in them, this guy and this guy here, and then the one that's on the sander. So this guy, it just says to put him directly onto the spindle shaft. So this guy would go directly on the spindle shaft if I use the really small one. So Important safety tip number 1. All right, let's just go ahead and read through the instruction manual. Exploded views, exploded work list. All right, a couple of things that I did learn from reading the manual is that this is the speed selector here, and goes from 1 to 6. So 1 is the slowest, and I'll probably use the slow. And then this is the power switch in the front, so I'll make sure that when I mount it that I've got that power switch accessible. And also when I put on the dust port collector, I think I've got a dust collector port that's on my belt sander that I could move back and forth. And he goes in here, but he twist locks in, so that's cool. Just twists to lock him in. All right. And it also showed how to mount the spindles, that you basically twist this guy off. And then there is a little washer there we don't want to lose. We pull that off, pull the spindle off. Another spindle washer down there on the bottom. Let's leave him down there. And then we put on, like let's say we put this little tiny one on here. He would go right on the spindle. But the other ones have their own little bushing and would fit on like that. And then the washer, and then the nut would go there. Alright, let's give him a little test. I think I'm just going to mount him to this bench for now and just give him a little test. Alright, we're just going to temporarily mount him here to this work table. So I'll go ahead and put the little pad here, his little anti-vibration pad. I put him on his anti-vibration pad. And then we put these guys on, little clamps. So we tighten up the little clamp and put him in there. Tighten him up. Put this one on, we tighten him up. Till we get him good and tight. Put him there and tighten him up. There we go. Alright, let's go ahead and fire him up. Alright, we got him plugged in. Gonna turn down to 1. Now I have to go ahead and turn him on, and we'll try to do a little sanding just to see how it works. I will say the switch is a little tricky, especially upside down. What you have to do is you have to push it down. It's unplugged right now. Just push it down, and it kind of snaps into that little hole right there. And then when you want to turn it off, you can just hit it up here at the top and turn it off. So you have to push it down till he snaps in, and then pop him out. But hey, it's kind of, I guess, a safety thing. Now this, when you turn this on and when you turn this guy and kind of squishes him down a little bit, that compresses that rubber sleeve and pushes it out, so it kind of keeps him nice and tight. But we're going to take this one off and use the littlest sanding drum. So we pull this sleeve and sanding disc out. And this one goes straight on the metal sleeve, so it can't really be compressed. And he doesn't go all the way down, but for this one, you take off that top washer, and there's like a little groove around, and that'll fit around that sanding drum, and then hold him down. So for all but the smallest drum, you do use this washer, but for the small one you don't. So alright, so that's just this is probably one I'll be using a lot. And the reason I think this will be so handy is sometimes when I do a ring inlay and I bore it out and cut it, break it, and it's just a little too small to go around the ring core, so it would leave a crack, so because it wouldn't fit all the way. And trying to make this hole bigger with the sander that I have with the hand, it's really hard to hold this guy straight and to do it straight and to get it even. That's why I think it'd be easier just to put it on here and then go around a few times to take it just a little bit off the inside of that hole. So let's just try that. We're just got a scrap piece I did. I'm gonna try it out. Let's go ahead and we'll try to see how easy it is to hold this guy and to sand him. Alright, so let's do that. Just like I want him. Yeah, I think that works. One thing I did notice is this guy has kind of a big open spot here. So especially with a little piece of wood, it's kind of hard to keep him nice and flat. So I might make a little bed for this wood. Replace these bolts or use that bolt hole. Just so when I'm using the very small little drum here, that the wood doesn't fall in, that it keeps it nice and level on a little table. So I might do that. Alright, that looks pretty good. Alright, and that bolt will go right down through there with enough clearance. Once we got that there. Alright, and he is 4.01 millimeters, so that'll work. Alright, drill those two holes. Counterbore them. Sure that's tight. Okay. So sit nice and flush. And let's take some of the sharp edges off this guy. Alright, we got a little sanding shelf. Let's go ahead and put them on here. And then fit the bolts in. The counter sunk in there. I don't want to tighten it down too much, just till it's snug. Just make sure I'm not touching the spindle. Alright, so it's like a little sanding shelf. Now I can sand and I won't drop into that hole. Cool. There's a little better view of what I'll be doing. A little sanding shelf just fits around that small spindle, and then I can very easily sand the inside of the ring blank. And I can take this off really quick, just boom boom these two little nuts here if I want to put a bigger spindle on. Alright, let's try them again. Now that I got my little sanding shelf. Just like I want him. Turn him on. Yeah, that works good. And leaves a nice, clean, square surface. Great. Nice and still perfectly round. Alright, and I've got a spot picked out for it already. Right over here next to my other sander. And that way I can share this port. I'll just pop this port off and put it on him, and then I'm going to probably bore some holes down in here and then have him mounted from the bottom. So it'd be nice and right kind of in the middle of my shelf here. So all right, I'm really really happy with it. All right, let's go ahead and put these guys on here from the bottom. From the bottom. Well, we got him mounted on the workbench, and he's nice and steady, nice and sturdy. One thing I realized is I drilled out the 2 holes on one side, and it felt like he was kind of leaning, so I left 1 hole on one side and put the other mount on the other corner here, so he's kind of more cornered, a little more steady, a little more flat, more level. So it's pretty good. I hooked up the got his little dust collector, and I got a piece of dust collector tube, but I need another T. I need to go to Home Depot and get a T, and then I'll just cut into this tube, and then I'll just put him into this right here, so he'll be sharing the vacuum for this belt sander. That's pretty good. He's nice and steady. Not getting any vibration or anything, so that's good. So I think he's I'm going to keep him. He's a keeper. Now this is the only 1/2-inch sanding sleeve that came with the spindle sander, and it's been working really good, but I need you to get some replacements. So I found these on Amazon. It was probably about $10 for a little pack of 6, but they look like those candies, you know. But they're a little too long, so I just need to do just gonna cut him on the bandsaw. And I know it's kind of goofy to cut a sanding drum on a bandsaw, but hey, whatever works, you know. There we go. Fits like a sleeve. Fits like a sleeve. Got kind of a collection of Wen tools. I know they're not the best, but for what I'm doing, they work. Well, that's it for today. So I've got some rings to make. So thanks for watching, everybody. And just like to show you some of the new tools and things that I put into the shop and used to make rings. So if you would like to check out hillcountryrings.com, some of the rings that I make from Heritage and Legacy Woods, drop me a line or a comment just at what you would like to see me make. I just love making rings from Heritage and Legacy Woods, and I'd love to make a ring for you. Thanks, everybody.